Namaste. Namaste. This is a fast video. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah, I'm still working on Thanksgiving. You know, a lot of people are working on Thanksgiving and they don't get any credit for it. Me, I'm working on Thanksgiving and I don't get any money or credit. Anyway, it's the Idaho 4 are worth it, or anybody I do a video for. So I just wanted to show you that cleaning up my table, and before I clean up my table, last night when I was working on the case, but I could not do the video, actually the last couple of days, but last night I actually pulled cards, probably around 1 in the morning, and something told me, not now. Pull them, but just leave them there. So let me just show you. This is the Thanksgiving table, and this is half cleaned up. The rest of it I have in a bag over there on the floor, the New York bag. Okay, so I gotta clean all of this up, but this is the card pull that I did. So I'm just gonna go over my notes. I said my prayers off air because prayers need to be said around this case. It's a little bit lighter. I don't know if it's because the police are zeroing in on who the murderer is of the 4 students, or just that I was able to say my prayers and really feel the protection from God. God is always there to protect us, and the angels are always there to protect us, but it's important to do the routine that you feel is strong to protect you against nightmares, to protect you against a negative attack. And that's not to scare you. A lot of psychics get it, and a lot of just regular people get psychic attacks when you go to sleep. And you could just get a psychic attack when you're just even watching stuff about a case that's very, very violent and negative. And you go to sleep after watching a video or watching television, the news. That always does it for me too. And then you go to sleep and you try to rest, and you start to fall off to sleep, and then you start to see different things. Now, for me, and then what you say is, please, dear God, protect me. As soon as you wake up and you have a bad feeling in your heart or your mind, you just say, please, dear God, protect me. And he will. Please, dear God, send Archangel Michael. Send your angel, Archangel Michael, to come near me in my physical being and protect me. Protect me and my family. Protect me against psychic attacks. Protect me against physical attacks. Okay? And he will, but you have to say those words first. Okay. So, why am I here on Thanksgiving? All right. Because I just told you, I pulled cards and I have them out on the table, and I don't want to put them away until I friggin' do this little video. It's going to be fast. I know I always say that, but I'm going to be busy trying to help Devin. Devin has been up since 6 o'clock doing everything for Thanksgiving. And I just have to do, like, heat up the gravy and the little side things. But anyway, we're not eating till about 5. But he already has a ham done and a 18-pound turkey done. Okay, on the aside of that, please, prayers up for my daughter. My daughter just recently got COVID, and she can't go out today. She was supposed to go to her girlfriend's house for Thanksgiving dinner, and now she has to stay alone in her apartment. So please, prayers up for my daughter Laura. Thank you. I appreciate it. I wish I could be there for her. I wish I could make her some soup, vegan soup, because she's also a vegan, so she can't even have chicken soup, which I think is the best. But she can have tea and little things like that. But just, my heart is always with my kids, and so prayers up for her. Thank you. Okay, so now let me get to my notes. I'm going to do my notes, and then I'm going to go over the cards that I got. Okay, so just before we continue, I just want to show you something. Everything that I say, there might be some facts that I have gotten from the news, and research on the case, but this is for entertainment reasons only. I am not a medical doctor or attached to law enforcement in any way. What I discuss is in my opinion and allegedly. So, usually law enforcement doesn't listen to me anyway, so okay. And also, God protects me and fights all my battles. No weapon formed in spirit or physical shall prosper. In Jesus' name, amen. I had said this prayer about 4 times. Sometimes Spirit just says, say it again. Okay, say it again. Okay, say it again. And so that's what I do. Okay, and these are the closing prayers that I will do. I might not do it with you. Okay, so one of the attacks that I did get, and I'm not afraid now. I'm not afraid. I mean, during the day, I'm really brave. It's at night when everybody. Sorry, one second. When everybody goes to sleep, I might have to take one break to grab my coffee because I only had 1 cup, and I really need that second cup. But the whole counter, we have a 1970s style kitchen and no room to be had. So the turkey and the ham and stuff, everything's there, and I had to try to pull the coffee maker. I know, coffee problems. Anyway, so what I wanted to say is, I feel braver during the day. At night, when everybody goes to sleep, that's when I feel, like my guard is down, or I feel a little bit alone. But everybody's got to go to sleep. Everybody's usually a normal person except for this person over here. Anyway, when I was feeling psychically attacked in my sleep, it was like when my soul sister, one of my soul sisters, actually 2 of my soul sisters, Ruby, just a Texas medium, and Genocide Jen, had first asked me about the Idaho 4, and I was like, I can't touch it, can't touch it, can't touch it. And then, but they would ask me, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So then what happens? My mind touches it. And then I watched something. And then when I watch videos, and I think I told you on my live the other day, when I see pictures and watch videos and actually hear audio, that goes right in. All right. It goes into me psychically. It stimulates my third eye. I get a lot of hits on things. I get a lot of feelings, either hot or cold. If I feel cold, I feel like that. No, that's not it. When I feel hot on something, I feel like, yeah. And so far, by the way, just on addendum, we haven't heard anything about Michael. But maybe he's been found, but I don't know, because they said they finished doing the digging and excavating, and maybe we'll hear something on Friday. I don't know, but they're totally finished. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or a sad thing. Okay, it's always a sad thing. Anyhow, so as soon as I find out something, I'll definitely jump on and let you know, because my boy, Michael. Anyhow, so the 4 Idaho students, one of the things that got me was that's a lot of energy. Okay, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can to delineate each of the students in the fastest way I can, because I gotta go and help and clean up this table and Thanksgiving stuff. But I did not want to put away these cards that I pulled last night until I got it all done, until I showed you guys. That's why, because I have a lot of subs that have been asking me, could you please do the read? Could you please do the read for the Idaho 4? And I want to do that for them, for you guys. Okay. All right. So here I go. All right. So here's my notes. Here's the start of my notes. So what I was trying to say is I first felt attacked, or not attacked, not physical, like I was just a person in the house. And I want to be in the house. The house is very like one floor is up here and one floor is there, like a diagonal. I felt like I was on a diagonal hill. And it actually is on a diagonal. It's on a hill. So one part of the house is down here, one part of the house is here, and then one is here. So, you know what I'm saying? And then the third floor is up on top. Okay, I gotta do this fast before my stepson comes home, because then I'll totally be blown out, because he talks loud. He's on the phone talking loud, and it's throwing me off. Okay, so I need an office. Universe, I need an office. Okay. All right. I can't do everything at midnight. I just can't. Like last night, I just was like, you know what? I could do a reading, or I could pet my dog on the couch. And that's what won out, you know? What did he say? Okay. All right, so I felt the unevenness of the floor in my dream. I felt like I was observing things and very scared. So that tells me, I think somebody was definitely aware of something going on that was nefarious. I feel, okay, so let me just say the names. Ethan Chapin, he didn't live in the house, okay? Ethan Chapin, he's 20. He didn't live in the house, right? He was sleeping over his girlfriend's house, Xana Kernoodle. She's also 20, okay? She lived in the house. She lived in the house with Madison Mogan and Kylie Conclaves. All right, and then there's two other girls. I don't know their names, all right? The police are saying that they're not suspects, okay? But what I'm telling you is, I can only tell you what I feel. What I feel very strongly is that those two girls that are alive, I'm not putting any blame on anybody. Don't think that's what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is, I think they heard something. And I think they were very scared and very fearful. So they were in separate rooms locked in, okay? But then other people have said that everybody else was locked in their rooms as well. That Ethan and Xana were locked in one room. That Madison was locked in another room. And Kylie was locked in her room, okay? Because they had separate rooms. But for some reason, all right, psychically, this is what I'm going to get. I'm going to tell you what I got as soon as I heard about the story. As soon as I said, I'm not doing the story, I'm not touching the story, guess what? I'm touching the story. All right. I felt like Madison and Kaylee came home. I had written down the time frame because the sister had a different time frame than the cops. Okay, so Kylie's phone was linked up to her mother's plan, right? Mother and sister's plan, I guess. And even, my son is 29 and a half, and his phone is linked up to my phone too. But I never do any investigations. Anyway, that could be, no, anyway. Just when he called, his girlfriend used his phone to call China. Okay, and then I got the bill. So then I gave him the bill. So, yeah, I'm not paying $300 extra to call China. Anyhow, so the sister and the mom said that Kylie and, sorry, I was just getting the pain in my head. Kylie and Madison, she liked to be called Maddie, got dropped off home at 1:56. After they went to the corner club around 10:20 to about 1 or 1:30, they went to the truck place where you get food. Then they went in a cab and got home in like a couple of minutes because it's very close to where the truck was. But that they were being responsible, taking an Uber, and they got home at 1:56 according to the mom and sister's phone that's linked up to Kylie's phone, okay? They were calling Kylie, both Kylie and Maddie were calling Kylie's ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor, over and over again. There was a lot of phone calls. I have notes. The phone calls were And that the family kept saying that's not unusual. She would call and call. She called it a power calling, calling until the person picks up, but it was really late, and allegedly he was sleeping, but we'll find out. Yeah, so basically what I thought was odd was there was 10 phone calls to him. 10. 10, 1-0, okay? So so in other words, Kaylee called him, say, like from 2 a.m. to 2:30, 6 times. And then Maddie, was she in the same room? Were they in the same room? Which I feel like they were in the same room. They were both, you try your phone. No, I'll try my phone. Let's try to get Jack to wake up. And then one of the message was, come over. You need to come over. All right. But then somebody was saying he was 4 hours away. So was he 4 hours away, or was he in the same town as them? Okay. Now remember, he was the ex-boyfriend, but supposedly they were going to be getting back together after a break. Okay. So what I thought was weird is these calls were made by both girls. So I'm thinking they're not in different bedrooms making these calls. They're together, laughing. They just had a great night. They came out of the bar. They went to the truck place. They had to eat their food, when they came home. So why would they go into separate bedrooms and lock themselves in? Okay, so did Kylie and Maddie know this killer? Did Ethan and Xana know this killer? These are the questions that the cops are asking, investigators asking. But 10 phone calls, that's a little excessive. That tells me I don't want just a booty call. I don't want to just chat. I'm worried about something. Okay, and one of the last calls that she said that Kylie left was, we share a dog. You need to come over. And they did. They shared a dog. And that's another thing. I have dog written down. Because why didn't the dog bark ferociously, feverishly? Why did not the dog bark? Did the dog recognize somebody and not bark? Was the dog put in a different place? Or did the dog stay in the bedroom with Kylie? Usually that's, a lot of people have a dog and they stay with their owner. Okay, so the letters that I got when I do my letter cards was, ironically, I got, and the question I asked was, who's the killer of the Idaho Four? What is the letters of their first name or last name? And they just told me only pick four cards. So I got X and E, S and D. X and E, S and D. Let me show you. X, E, S, D. All right. Then I realized Xana starts with an X, Ethan starts with an E. Okay, but I don't know if that makes any sense. So I did it again. Once I saw that, maybe I was just tapping into the names. So I did it again and I got different letters. I got Q, U, L, V. Okay. All right. So now let me just get to my notes and talk about that for a couple of minutes and then show you my cards. I feel they will get the killer. The killer is out there, and it was definitely, like, according to myself, it's hard to do this, okay, according to myself, and that's all I could I could do based on what I watched, because this is what my process is. Like, some psychics, they don't want to watch anything. They don't want to watch anybody or anything because they just want to go raw. Okay, when I was first doing it raw, right, bareback, psychic reading, when I was just talking to Ruby and Genocide and Crystal about it, and Blue Willow, I talked about it as well. She's also a reader. She did a reading on them. I think, as well as EVP. I think Ruby did an EVP, but I'm not 100% sure because I've been trying to do a lot of research. Anyhow, when I go bareback, all right, without the condom, into the psychic world, and I just go with my instinct, I thought there was two people, like a Bonnie and Clyde type of action. I felt like there was a male and a female. And then Ruby was saying, I think maybe male and male, like a father-son combo. And then I stopped to think, as time was going on and I was watching a couple more things, and like I said, whenever I watch a video that has the words, I watched the TikToks that were available with some of the students in it, mostly Kaylee, and so I get the energy off of that. And then I said, no, it's just one. And somebody said to me, how could one person do all this? And I said, this is one angry, full of rage person. Have they killed before? I don't think so. But if they get away with this, they might kill again, or they might try to take their own life. But then again, I feel like they'll just try to hide, because they have a totally different personality. It would be like me being accused of murder. People would be like, oh no, she's too zen. She's too namaste. She's too gentle. Okay? That's the words I'm hearing. This is total shock. This is somebody that was taking it and taking it and taking it. But they are narcissistic. They are a sociopath, obviously, to be able to do this. Okay, so then I just heard the bloodbath that was in there. That's why I have a problem with the two roommates that were alive. So even if they woke up late, they were in bed, even if they woke up late, first of all, they had to hear walking. So maybe they said, oh, it was a party house, so people knew the code to the house. People walk through the house all the time. Okay. It's a different kind of noise when it's like, ah, and then slush, slush, slush. This is what I'm hearing, slush. I'm not trying to be gross. But, okay, when I had a job in one of my first jobs teaching, it was called, it doesn't matter what it was called, but it was a Montessori type school, right? And so we were in an old house, and some of the kids, it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, and some of the kids had, like, problems, slight autism, definitely, attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity. And so there was this room, it was the closet that they were supposed to hang up their coat and come out into the classroom. But it was a house, and there was a couple of bricks up. And this one kid always used to horse around with this other kid, and supposedly he pushed him. And there was a little window in that room, and the kid's hand went through the window, and he opened up a vein. The glass opened up a vein. So when we pulled him out of that coat room, he was screaming and yelling. When we pulled him out, because the vein was open, I am telling you, the blood in the room was like an ocean. It was an ocean of blood, okay? And this is one kid, he lived, he survived, he was okay. He went to the hospital, we called 911. That was a major vein, so there was a lawsuit and everything, okay? They came to visit me at my apartment. It was terrible. The bricks shouldn't have been there. I was supposedly watching them, but the other teacher too. But the fact of the matter is, kids horse around, and he was just putting his coat up, and that's when the kid pushed him. And maybe he didn't mean it. He didn't mean to push the kid out, to get the hand out the window. Point being, there was so much blood, and the teacher I was working with, she goes, I can't take blood. So she took all the kids out of the room and left me in the room to mop up the blood. And I was slipping and almost fell into it. I had it all over my shoes. I had it all over. It was a nightmare. It was so scary. And there was a smell. It smelled like iron mixed with oxygen, like, it's weird. That was my only experience with that much blood. It was the complete room, on the floor, on the walls, they were having me clean it up. Okay. So I did it. I was trying to do it, and then when the cops came, they were like, why are you doing this? And I go, the other teacher told me, head teacher told me to clean up the blood. And he was like, oh, no, you go in the other room with the other teachers and the kids. We have to investigate. And you're getting it all over yourself. And this is before, this is the 80s. So this is before, anybody thought about, bloodborne diseases and things going into your cuts that you might have, or your eyes. I was all up in there, no gloves, just a mop that she gave me. And it was just like, it was an ocean of red. And I had to talk to the kid at the same time because he said he was dying. He goes, I'm going to die. I know I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And I was calming him down. I said, in a little while, you're going to see your mom and dad. He goes, the ones that went to heaven, my grandparents? And I had to calm him down. And I was told by his mother that I helped him stay alive because of what I said. I was Miss Brady back then. So she was like, Miss Brady, she gave me a gift and everything. But she said, the things that you said to him, it was amazing because he was in full panic mode, but it was an artery that was open. So that amount of blood went all over the place. It was terrible. And he was getting dizzy, and anyhow. So what I'm saying is, the people in those rooms had to know. So why didn't they call 911 then, when they first woke up and noticed, hey, let's go make coffee. Go out of their room, there's a bloodbath. They go back in their room, instead of calling the cops, they had to see all the blood. And they just called their friends. They called a bunch of more people to ruin, the crime scene. So, okay. 1 second, guys. I'm going to put you on hold for a second because I got to get my coffee. Let me see if you can see this. My notes. Makes any sense. Just while This is the 3 levels. Okay, so you came in and there was a door code, a keypad. So you had to, if you're going to come in through there, you had to know the code. A lot of peeps had the code, right? A lot of people came in and out, so a lot of people did have access. So hopefully everybody will be questioned, all right? But there was also a door up here, a sliding door that might have been opened that you can access, I guess, through side stairs. I'm not sure if there's side stairs, but I think there are. Okay, so on the first level is the 2 roommates that weren't touched. Okay, surviving 2 roommates, they weren't touched. Okay, they didn't call 911, and we still don't know who called, but they used one of the surviving roommates' phones. But it wasn't the surviving roommates that called. Somebody took their phone. One of the friends that they called over took their phone and finally called, I think at 11. I think at 11. I'm not even sure. Okay, so the killer knew exactly where the bedrooms were. This is a complicated house, but not complicated if you've been there. Okay, let me just grab my coffee, guys.
See that there?
Yeah?
That's the juice you can make the gravy with.
Oh, okay.
Can we just open the packets in that?
You have packets or you have the liquid?
Sure, okay, the packets.
Where?
That packet on the other
Oh,
side.
okay. Yeah, that has cornstarch in it?
Yeah, you just mix it in, I guess?
Yeah, but you're going to get a lot of fat. I remember from years ago. Yeah, we can
It's
do it.
mostly liquid, I didn't see much fat now.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll be in charge of that.
I was able to get three things of it.
Cool.
Okay? Put the turkey back in so the brown bottom.
Good. I'm almost done.
The ham just came out.
Oh, okay. Thank you, baby. Okay, I'm back. Yes, okay, so for me, when I write notes, it helps me, so maybe it'll help you or somebody that's watching. Okay, so we have Ethan Chapin, Hunter and Marie. Hunter and Marie. I don't know what Hunter and Marie means. I know he was going for, he's only 20, and he was going for, recreational sports management, and he's very athletic. Okay? So did he try, was he killed first? Was any of the people that were killed, did they kill? That's another thing. I mean, I know there was an intruder and somebody left, but you have to think of all options. You have to think of everything. Okay. So, Xana was going for junior marketing and business, and she's 20. Xana Kernoodle. And they were together in the room, but he did not live at that house. She did. He lived at a different place. Okay? Xana and Maddie worked at the Mad Greek restaurant for a long time. So much that the Mad Greek restaurant had to close down because they were so upset. It was so horrible. Okay, so Madison Mogan, was going for marketing. And she liked pink, the color pink. She's 21. So we have 4 very young students in the beginning of their lives. Okay, Kaylee Concalves, Caves. I'm sorry if I'm saying it the wrong way. She has the most social media that's out there. She's a senior, and she was from college. She was going for college letters of arts and science. And what struck me about that is that's what I have a BA in as well. When I was going for teaching way back when in the 80s, you could either take psychology or letters of arts and sciences if you wanted to be a teacher. So I didn't take psychology, although I love it. I have many levels of it up to level 600, from 100 to 600. But if you majored in it, there was a lot of math, and I knew I couldn't do it. So college letters of arts and sciences was more of art, art history, science, and I was stronger in that background. So that's what struck me with that. I was like, oh my God, I never saw anybody else that had that same degree. So she was getting ready to be graduating and starting a new job, I think in February. She was the one who also bought the new car. Her ex is named Jack. That's who was being called 10 times right before they were deceased. So there's a door that leads to the middle floor, and it's a sliding glass. Kaylee, a lot of times in her TikToks, was opening and closing that door. Okay? She was the one that had the dog. That she shared with Jack. Okay. So, did I say everything about this page? I think so. That helps you to get to know everybody's name. Ethan Chapin is going for recreation sports management. I don't know what Hunter. Oh, he's a triplet. Okay. He's a triplet, meaning that he has a brother and a sister. A brother named Hunter and his other sister named Maisie. Maisie? Okay. I hope I'm saying their names correctly. But he's a triplet, so they're very devastated. Oh my gosh, they go to the same school. All right, so he wasn't supposed to be there, but he was sleeping over, because they're dating. They're 20 years old, okay? So they're allowed to do that. Yeah, I think I said everything on this page. So it's a weird house. I felt unlevel when I saw the house. I understood why I didn't feel level. Okay. 1122 King Road. That's the address. And that adds up to 2456. 6. The number 6 is the number of love, pastel colors, hopes and dreams. King Road. Okay. So, all right. So here's the evidence that was, the police said 1:45 they got home, but the parent, the mother and sister that have the phone, they share the phone records, say they got home at 1:59. Okay, the timeline matters. They were at the corner club. They went there around 10 o'clock, but the mother and sister say they got there at 10:25, and I think stayed till 1 or 1:30. I'm not sure about what time they exactly left, but they arrived home at 1:56 after going to the truck. The driver was checked out. Hopefully they'll check him out again. The ex-boyfriend is Jack Decor. There's pictures on Facebook you can go see. Was it a booty call? I don't know. Booty calls usually aren't 10 times. I don't know. And why was the friend, Maddie, calling him too? See, I think they knew. Kaylee might have been very intuitive. Are you intuitive, Kaylee? Yes, and so is Anna. So is Xana. Okay. I see Kaylee with her grandfather in heaven. Yeah, he met her. She thought it was a dream at first, and he was putting his hand out for her to come with him. Okay, sorry, I was just getting a vision. All right. So at 2 a.m. to 2:30, calls were made, but I think it was more like a little bit later, to maybe 2:45, the calls ended. So the police are saying murders happened between 3 and 4. What were the other roommates doing? Okay, they could be sleeping. They didn't hear anything? A swooshing sound? Okay, so Maddie also called Jack. Why? Were Maddie and Kaylee in the same bed? I felt like they were. Okay. You know how, like, you don't want to go to your own bedroom, you want to stay with the other person, but I could be wrong. All right, did Kaylee, and Maddie know this killer? I think yes. Or at least the killer was a stalker. And Kaylee had said she had felt like she was being stalked. Somebody was definitely watching her. Okay, so I like to read my notes beforehand. Okay, so now let me get to the crime cards and the regular cards. And did my music go off? I don't want my music to go off. Yes, it did. It's very low, so only you guys, only I could hear it, really. You can't hear it. Pretty sure. Okay, so the only other note I have, somebody I think liked butterflies because I kept on drawing butterflies last night. I mean, I like butterflies too, but I don't usually want to draw them. Somebody was giving me, somebody that has passed was giving me butterflies. So were all their doors locked? Were Kylie and Maddie in the same room? I feel like they were. At least they started out in the same room when they were doing the phone calls. Maybe when he didn't answer, they were like, okay, good night, I'll go to my room. But for some reason, I feel like they're sitting in the same bed and just laughing and talking, having a great night. Creepy loner history. Okay, so I think that the description, I was seeing two different people. I was seeing very, very skinny, very like the shoulders stood out to me, but skinny, and maybe 5'10". Then I saw another person, maybe a little taller, but everybody seems taller to 5'2" person over here, even in a vision. I saw another person with dark hair, a little bit taller, maybe 6 foot, 6 foot or 6'1". Dark hair, olive complexion, but then another person has light hair, but they're dressed lighter hair and fair skin, and they're dressed head to toe in black, like black stretch pants or jogging pants, black hoodie, even a black cap maybe that has nothing on it, because I don't see anything on it. The shirt might have something on it, but it's zipped up, and I'm sure he had to destroy the clothes because the clothes had to be full of blood. Yeah. Okay. I feel like he cut with the knife, he cut his hand right here. Because that's many people that he was killing. He didn't think he'd get away with it. So he probably thought he would kill himself in the end, but then he didn't. Something shocked him. Something made him do it and run out of the house. He thought he would definitely be caught, or somebody in the house would fight him. Yeah, there's this black outfit. Like there's a person out there that used to always have this black outfit, right? And was a hoodie, and it was the jogging pants that were like kind of shiny. Because I know Devin has this pair of jogging pants. I like them. They're shiny, but like if he wore a jacket and a hood, and there's something over his face too, like he's completely covered. Maybe you know those masks, those skin masks that you put over your face, and just the eyes and maybe the mouth has a hole, or the eyes and the nose have a hole, and that's it. Okay, and so somebody just told me, one of the girls, I think it's Kaylee, said, yeah, the only thing I could see is his eyes. But his eyes looked different. That night, his eyes looked different. He was gone. Bloody clothes, circle. Something with a circle. All right, so I think that's all the notes that I wanted to say, and then I'm just going to read. Yeah, I did nothing. On my list, I have dust, vacuum, change sheets, clean both bathrooms. I haven't done it. Okay. Yeah, so the blood spatter will have the DNA in it. There's defense wounds that at least one of the victims has had defense wounds, which was Xana, so far that we know of. I don't know if the other ones, but how could they be sleeping and still do defense wounds? Okay, that means somebody woke up. All right, so let me just go through the cards. The crime cards, I just focused on what happened to the Idaho Four, what happened to them, and who did it. And that's what I meditated on last night. So I got by woods and dirt, something could be found. Okay, and outside their house, there's a whole wooded area. All right, so I know that they're checking, but they need to bring the dogs. They need to bring the cadaver dogs. They need to bring the DNA dogs, whatever the dogs are that can sniff something and like sniff the blood or the blood stained object and go find it. I also feel like he threw something in the water because the water things could be lost. But I don't feel like there's any water around there. Definitely something was dropped in the woods. And I feel like he had no car. He walked wherever and got rid of his clothes and then had his car at a different place, say a couple of blocks away or whatever, walked to his car, but when he walked to his car, he took off his clothes, the outer clothes. Okay? But maybe we could find those clothes. Okay? Then I also got autumn and fall, which is right now. Okay? All right. And then another validation is by the trees or forest. So hopefully they look before it starts to snow. They look it over 3 times, please. Might have to dig a little bit too. I was trying to think of dumpsters because I know they were checking out dumpsters. I don't think he put them in a dumpster. There's been too much said about dumpsters lately, so I don't think he put it in a dumpster. Did get rid of the clothes though, because like he had clothes on underneath. Whoever it was knew he was going to go there and do something bad. But not everybody. Like, I don't think he expected Ethan to be there. Okay? So then, I always focus on who and what, and just cards give me, the characters involved, and I got this. Okay, so this could be a male or a female, but they have blue eyes, blondish or reddish hair, auburn, and they're fair skin. Sometimes if they get burned a couple of times, then they would go tan. A reddish skin, but they would have to work on the tan. So I'm thinking fair. But that could also describe the victims. Then I have blue or hazel eyes, has blonde or sandy hair, probably highlights. I think that describes the girls. I'm not sure if there was a ginger in the mix. I don't think anybody had ginger hair. Okay, so that's those cards. And then I have, I never like to see this. Located, or that was a time frame, 8 to 10 years. Okay, so 8 to 10 years, what do I think about this? Something happened when somebody was between 8 and 10 years old. Something traumatic, usually. Even could be a divorce. Parents got divorced, or just something happened to them between the ages of 8 and 10 that person never got over.
Give me 5 more minutes.
Okay. Then I got distinct scratches or tats. And I'm going to go with scratches. The person that killed the 4 Idaho students received some scratches himself. I do believe it's a male. At first, I told you when I went bareback into the reading and I was talking to Ruby about it and my soul sisters about it, I thought it was a couple. I thought it was 2 people. And now I'm thinking it's just one. And they received scratches. So they might be trying to hide those scratches, or they might even have a bandage on their hand. All of that, hopefully the cops check into. But I feel like something on the face, and they actually try to put like a hoodie or not makeup. I don't know if they would do the makeup because they don't understand how to do the makeup. But definitely, okay, so I'm feeling like I am one of the students, not the boy, because I feel like he got up, like Ethan stood up, or went to stand up. So I feel like in the bed, and the girl, one of the girls is really doing this as she's getting killed, as she's getting stabbed. I don't mean, trigger alert. It's very hard to do, but I think it needs to be done. As she's getting stabbed, she's still fighting because she's fighting for her life. She wants her life. She's so indignant over, I worked so hard and I want my life. And so that's what she's doing. And so the more she's doing that, she got in a scratch on the face. She got in over here. I feel over here are scratches. Okay. And then something with the knife, like as the knife is going in. I know this is gross to listen to, but this is what I see. The knife is going in. That's why I didn't want to do it. The knife is going in, and he's holding down with his other hand. As he's holding down with his other hand, when the knife is going in and out, he catches himself on the other hand with the knife. So that could be blood DNA evidence, although I feel he did wear gloves. If he didn't wear full gloves, you know what I say? The gloves that have the fingers open that you could drive with? But I think he definitely went there in a whole ensemble. Underneath the black pants and the black shirt, hoodie, and the mask, underneath that, he had another outfit. Because he knew that he would have to get rid of those clothes. So what I'm saying is, if you live with a person, just like the bridge guy, if you live with a person and you remember they always had this outfit, and you don't see it anymore, look into it. You don't see that outfit anymore. Look into it. Okay. So last card I got was metal, blood stains. And I hated leaving this out on my dining room table, but I needed to do the reading. Blood stains on metal, blood stains on wood, fabric, plastic. And according to the police and the FBI, there was blood, like I told you about my student, where the artery was open. These people had their artery in their throat, in their chest. And that's pools of blood. Pools of blood that comes out and then seeps under the door. Okay? But that's also evidence. That also can help with evidence. Okay, so then I'm just going to read these quickly. Do I have glasses? Yes. Okay. So when I thought about, where are the kids and not where are the kids, what happened to the kids, what happened to Idaho 4, I got the Magician, element of surprise, good or bad. Yes, they were definitely surprised. But I feel like Maddie was worried. Maddie was seeing somebody following her or seeing something that didn't fit. And that's why she was reaching out to the boyfriend. Not to just have a booty call. She was worried. She said, come over quick. Come over here. Something like that. Eight of Swords is frustrations, feeling bound and gagged. Were they bound and gagged? No, they weren't bound and gagged, because at first, the first report was that they were, but then they weren't. They found out that that was a rumor. But feeling bound and gagged means you feel like you can't reach out to ask anybody for help. Why? Because they've been stabbed. Okay? And maybe the girls downstairs on the first level felt the same way. They felt scared. Okay? Can't blame them. Is it done?
Very close.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the biscuits.
I wouldn't do them right now.
Why not, baby? It's 4 o'clock.
Babe, you do them when it's right before you sit down for dinner.
Why?
Because they don't go good. Let me do them.
What about the mashed potatoes?
That's microwave.
You're gonna do them too?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, then I have the Fool, good friends, happiness, needing to take a giant step forward. Four of Swords, sickness, bed, illness, needing to take time out, rest and relaxation is needed here. Unfortunately, that's a scary picture in light of what's going on.
We need 10 more minutes.
Then we have a young man up to 25, visitors, message to share, Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles is usually about money, but the description of that person is what I was saying earlier. There's somebody that knows something. He's olive complexion, brown eyes, dark hair. Okay? And he's bringing something. He's bringing a message. When it's a knight, it's always a message. Okay, and then I had these cards, which I had the Hierophant, which is a spiritual card. Knowledge, finding out. Friendship, Three of Cups. Yeah, so this person could see that there was friends. All these people were friends. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles again. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So that validates for me, and he's a mentor. So he's somebody that might have been out of the circle of the friends, but knows something. And he's gonna be there to tell it. Comes in as a mentor. Patience. Yeah, we have to have patience. Knight of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. Okay. So that, because I'm getting all these pentacles, it has something to do with money. Was somebody jealous about the kids, the Idaho 4, money-wise? New experiences. Then we have completion, 10 of Swords. We will find out. We're definitely going to find out. And then have one left over. And again, it's Ace of Pentacles, money coming, divine wish being granted. Let's pray for the Idaho 4, Kylie, Ethan, Xana, and Madison. Namaste, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.